Hello everyone, this is Good Investor. I hope everyone is doing well. I am very happy that April finally kicked in, and despite March being a disappointment for all of us, it gave us an idea that the history is kind of repeating itself. As we all know, last year exactly during this time, there was a huge market downturn and it all happened, and we knew what happened after that. We knew that the markets got back to what it was, and hey, we did even better than it was, right? So essentially, April started strong, and as we can see here, the market right now, looking at S&P 500, it hit for the first ever time the 4,000 point mark, and this is a very strong beginning of April. And because of that, there've been hopefully a lot of positivity in your portfolio as well, and such happened in mine. Today, I wanted to talk about different things though. Today, I wanted to talk about ETFs, and specifically if you're considering investing on ARK ETF, ARK Innovation ETF, you probably could think and watch this video till the end and make your decision after. But essentially, to get a step back, what ARK Innovation is, or maybe to get even a bigger step back, what ETF is. Here you can find what ETF is. So ARK Invest, ARK Innovation ETF is sort of this type of ETF, as we just talked, is and that combines a cutting edge firms and are selected into one exchange traded fund. And essentially, if we look down and look what their holdings are, we can see that they are pretty invested on their top 10 holdings are Tesla, Square, Teladoc, Roku, Zillow, yada, yada, yada. But one thing that we will also cover is the different ETF, and that ETF is actually behind all these companies. But before we do that, let's look at ARK Innovations ETF, their returns over the period of time. So for example, if we go up here, we can see that in 5-year return, they've been doing phenomenal. First of all, I need to tell that they began in 2016 with only $20 per share of this ETF, went up to even reaching 150. So that's a phenomenal return to the investments. And as we can see, right, for the last 5 years, it's been 44%. And for the last 3 years, it's been 44.2. In 1 year only, 158%. That is a wonderful return, very appealing to many investors. And I'm pretty sure this is appealing to you as well. And as we saw, their holdings right now, they're very big firms out there, and high growth firms that are growing significantly, especially talking about Tesla, right? They've been giving phenomenal returns to their investments. But what I wanted to talk about, it's a different ETF that I've been covering in this channel for a while, and I would dig down a little bit, and it's SOXL. It's called SOXL Direction Daily Semiconductor Bull. It's a 3 times leveraged ETF. So it's a very risky, of course, but if you actually believe, and if you think of it, it tracks semiconductors, and semiconductors are behind all the technology. So if you're a believer of technology, which covers literally everything, including blockchain, artificial intelligence, you name it, right? Robotics, anything. It's all considered technology, and semiconductor is behind all that technology. So if you believe that technology is the future, you would actually want to risk more, because you're sure that this is the sector that could do well in the future, and SOXL is phenomenally positioned for that return. So today they have been up phenomenally. Look at this number, but we'll talk more about this later on. But here specifically, as we said, it's a 3 times leveraged, and if we look at their returns, and we'll also compare it with ARK Invest, but their return over 5 years have been also ridiculous. They started low, and they've been great so far. But within the last 5 years, they've been giving out to their investors 84% return, which if you compared with ARK Invest, it has been, as we talked, it was around 40s, 44%, 44.5% within 5 years, whereas SOXL was 84%, 84.5 within 5 years. And if you look within 1 year only, they've been giving 158, meaning 1 year means April of today versus April of 2020. So 2021 versus 2020, ARK Invest gave 158%, which is great, don't get me wrong. But if you compare it with SOXL, it's 487%, top notch. So I'm absolutely bullish on this. And if you look year to date, meaning from January until now, January of 2021 until April of 2021, it's 15%. It's great. The market has been down, but they're up so far. So they are giving a great return, whereas ARK Invest have been, it's down year to date, negative 10%. So if you invested on January 1st on ARK Invest, you would actually lose 10% of your money by now, whereas in SOXL, you would actually be up 15%. So here's the difference in terms of charts. But in terms of holdings, if you look down, so if we look at their holdings, look at this. It's Dreyfus, government, whatever, which is not the case. But they are covering some of the top semiconductor companies, which are very, very solid. So Intel is one of them, Broadcom, Texas Instruments, NVIDIA. I have been very bullish on this company as well. Perhaps I might do another video on NVIDIA, but another one on the semiconductor industry. Qualcomm as well, right? So as you can see, it's all top-notch semiconductor companies who are behind those top 10 holding companies of ARK Invest as well. So essentially, they are the backbone of all these companies, but at the same time, if you can see that, although they are sort of less riskier because they not only cover one or two companies, but they are a semiconductor and they could provide service for all of these companies together, which makes them less risky, but they're also giving more return, perhaps maybe because they're a little leveraged, but that is not the point. The point is that the semiconductor has actually been giving more returns than ARK Invest, and if you're considering ARK Invest, perhaps you should look at other opportunities at investing, including SOXL as well. So I touched a little bit at the beginning, but then I want to talk more about this. So if you look at SOXL, what happened today at the during the market on my portfolio. So first of all, they've been up 10%, which is great. So 10% during the market hours, and essentially it brought me fair returns, which is great. But also, if you the reason I want to show this on this video is that you can not only go with the shares, but also make it even more riskier if you believe on it through options, which is making it very, very, very risky, but it could bring you a lot better returns as well. So if you looked at the previous videos, you would see that my total return on SOXL was negative. So only today it turned out to be positive. But because the stock's price went up by 11% in one day, their options went up by 35%, almost 34.5, which couldn't be better than that. But what I think it's even crazier is that there is a much bigger possibility, much bigger opportunity out there because of the price of the options. As you know from the previous videos, I target the option prices between $1 to $2 on the premium, and it's within that category, but it's also growing enormously. So if you look at one of the options, 30%, right? So if on average it gave me 34%, then all of these went up by at least 30% each. So there's an opportunity out there, and I think this couldn't be a better time to enter, given that we're just recovering from the March lows, and history is actually showing us from the last year that we could see a greater returns. And if you want to position yourself, and if you're considering investing on ETFs, here we go. SOXL could be a great one for you. This is it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think. I'll talk to you in the later videos. Thank you. Bye-bye.